Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtake Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. कृष्णे स्वदामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह कलौ नष्टदृशाम् एषा पुराणार्को अधुनोदितः श्रीमद्भागवतं पुराणममलं यद्वैष्णवानां प्रियं यस्मिन् पारमहंस्यम् एकम् अमलं ज्ञानं परं गीयते तत्र ज्ञानविरागभक्तिसहितं नैष्कर्म्यम् आविष्कृतं तच्छृण्वन् सुपठन् विचारणपरो भक्त्या विमुच्येन्नरः सर्ववेदान्तसारं हि श्रीभागवतम् इष्यते तत् रसामृततृप्तस्य नान्यत्र स्यादरति क्वचित् य एतत् श्रावयेन्नित्यं यामाक्षणम् अनन्यधीः श्लोकम् एकं तत् अर्थं वा पादं पादार्थम् एव वा श्रद्धावान् यो अनुशृणुयात् पुनाति आत्मानम् एव सः कृष्णतुल्य भागवता विभु सर्वाश्रया प्रति श्लोके प्रति अक्षरे नानार्थकया प्रेममया भागवता कृष्णेर श्री अंगाताः ते कहेन यथा गोप्या कृष्णेरंग आदिमध्य अन्त्य भागवते एकया विष्णु भक्ति नित्य सिद्धा अक्षय अव्यय भागवत शास्त्रे से भक्ति तत्व कहे तेरि भागवत सम को न शास्त्र न है हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we'll be reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 14, Ideal Family Life. Just trying to get screen. Hemagori Mataji, will you be able to read this? Maybe till verse 21.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Maharaja Yudhishthira inquired from Narada Muni, O my lord, O sage, kindly explain how we who are staying at home without knowledge of the goal of life may also easily attain liberation according to the instructions of Vedas. Narada Muni replied, my dear king, those who stay at home as householders must act to earn their livelihood, and instead of trying to enjoy the results of their work themselves, they should offer these results to Krishna Vasudeva. How to satisfy Vasudeva in this life can be perfectly understood through the association of great devotees of the Lord. A Grihastha must associate again and again with saintly persons, and with great respect he must hear the nectar of the activities of the Supreme Lord and his incarnations, as his activities are described in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and other Puranas. Thus, one should gradually become detached from the affection for his wife, children, exactly like a man awakening from a dream. While working to earn his livelihood as much as necessary to maintain body and soul together, one who is actually learned should live in human society, unattached to family affairs, although externally appearing very much attached. An intelligent man in human society should make his own program of activities very simple. If there are suggestions from his friends, children, parents, brothers, or anyone else, he should externally agree, saying, yes, that's all right. But internally, he should be determined not to create a cumbersome life in which the purpose of life will not be fulfilled. The natural products created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be utilized to maintain the bodies and souls of all living entities. The necessities of life are of three types: those produced from the sky, from rainfall, from the earth, from the mines, seas, or the fields, and from the atmosphere, that which obtained suddenly and unexpectedly. One may claim proprietorship to as much wealth as required to maintain body and soul together, but one who desires proprietorship over more than that must be considered a thief, and he deserves to be punished by the laws of nature. One should treat animals such as deer, camels, asses, monkeys, mice, snakes, birds, and flies exactly like one's own son. How little difference there actually is between children and these innocent animals. Even if one is a householder rather than a brahmachari, a sannyasi, or a vanaprastha, one should not endeavor very hard for religiosity, economic development, or satisfaction of the senses. Even in householder life, one should be satisfied to maintain body and soul together with whatever is available with minimum endeavor, according to place and time. By the grace of the Lord, one should not engage oneself in ugra karma. Dogs, fallen persons, and untouchables, including chandalas, dog eaters, should all be maintained with their proper necessities, which should be contributed by the householders. Everyone's wife at home, with whom one is most intimately attached, should be offered for the reception of guests and people in general. One so seriously consider one's wife to be his own that he sometimes kill himself for her or kills others, including even his parents or his spiritual master or teacher. Therefore, if one can give up his attachment to such a wife, he conquered the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is never conquered by anyone. So, through proper deliberation, one should give up attraction to his wife's body because that body will ultimately be transformed into small insects, stool, or ashes. What is the value of this insignificant body? How much greater is Supreme Being, who is all pervading like the sky? All intelligent person should be satisfied with eating prasada, food offered to the Lord, or with performing the five different kinds of yajna, panchasuna. By such activities, one can give up attachment for the body and so-called proprietorship with reference to the body. When one is able to do this, he is firmly fixed in the position of Mahatma. Every day, one should worship the Supreme Being who is situated in everyone's heart, and on this basis, one should separately worship the demigods, the saintly persons, ordinary human beings, and living entities, one's forefathers and one's self. In this way, one is able to worship the Supreme Being in the core of everyone's heart. When one is enriched with wealth and knowledge, which are under his full control and by means of which he can perform yajna and please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one must perform sacrifices, offering oblations to the fire according to the directions of the Shastras. In this way, one should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna is the enjoyer of sacrificial offerings. Yet, although his lordship eats the oblations offered in the fire, my dear king, he is still more satisfied when nice food made of grains and ghee is offered to him through the mouth of through the mouths of qualified brahmanas. Therefore, my dear king, first offer prasada unto the brahmanas and the demigods, and after sumptuously feeding them, you may distribute prasada to other living entities according to your ability. In this way, you will be able to worship all living entities, or in other words, the supreme living entity within every living entity. A Brahmana who is sufficiently rich must offer oblations to the forefathers during the dark moon fortnight in the latter part of the month of Bhadra. Similarly, he should offer oblations to the relatives of the forefathers during the Mahalaya ceremonies in the month of Ashwina. One should perform the Shraddha ceremony on the Makara Sankranti, the day when the sun begins to move north, or on the Karkata Sankranti, the day when the sun begins to move south. One should also perform the ceremony on the Mesha Sankranti day and the Tula Sankranti day in the yoga named Vyati Pata. On the day in which three lunar Thidis are conjoined. During an eclipse of either the moon or the sun or the 12th lunar day, and in the Shravana Nakshatra, one should perform this ceremony on the Akshaya Tritiya day, on the 9th lunar day of bright fortnight of the month of Kartika, and the four Ashtakas in the winter seasons and cool season on the seventh lunar day of bright fortnight of the month of Magha during the conjunction of Magha Nakshatra and the full moon day, and on the days when the moon is completely full or not quite completely full. When these days are conjoined with the nakshatras from which the names of certain months are derived. One should perform the Shraddha ceremony on the 12th lunar day when it is conjunction with any of the nakshatras and named Anuradha, Shravana, Uttara Palguni, Uttarashada, or Uttara Bhadra Pada. Again, one should perform this ceremony when the 11th lunar day is in conjunction with either Uttara Palguni, Uttarashada, or Uttara Bhadra Pada. Finally, one should perform the ceremony on days conjoined with one's own birth star, Janma Nakshatra, or with Shravana Nakshatra. All of these seasonal times are considered extremely auspicious for humanity. At such times, one should perform all auspicious activities, for by such activities, a human being attains success in his short duration of life. During these periods of seasonal change, if one bath is in the Ganges, in the Yamuna, or in another sacred place, if one offers fire sacrifices or excessive vows, or if one worships the Supreme Lord, the Brahmanas, the forefathers, the demigods, and the living entities in general, whatever he gives in charity yields a permanently beneficial result. O King Yudhishthira, at the time prescribed for reformatory ritualistic ceremonies for oneself, one's wife, or one's children, or during funeral ceremonies and annual death ceremonies, one must perform the auspicious ceremonies mentioned above in order to flourish in fruitive activities. Narada Muni continued, now I shall describe the places where religious performance may be well executed. Any place where a Vaishnava is available is an excellent place for all auspicious activities. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the support of this entire cosmic manifestation, with all its moving and non moving living entities. And the temple where the deity of the Lord is installed is the most sacred place. Furthermore, places where learned Brahmanas observe Vedic principles by means of austerity, education, and mercy are also most auspicious and sacred. Auspicious indeed are the places where there is a temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, in which he is duly worshipped, and also places where there flow the celebrated sacred rivers mentioned in the Puranas, the supplementary Vedic literatures. Anything spiritual done there is certainly very effective. The sacred lakes like Pushkara and places where saintly persons live like Kurukshetra, Gaya, Prayaga, Puhala Ashrama, Naimisharanya, the banks of Phalgu River, Setubandha, Prabhasha, Dwaraka, Varanasi, Mathura, Pampa, Bindu Sarovara, Badrikashrama, Narayana Ashrama, the places where the Nanda River flows, the places where Lord Ramachandra and Mother Sita took shelter, such as Chitraketu, Chitrakuta, sorry, Prabhuji. Chitrakuta, and also the hilly tracts of land known as Mahendra and Malaya. All of these are to be considered most pious and sacred. Similarly, places outside India where there are centers of Krishna conscious movement and where Radha Krishna deities are worshipped must all be visited and worshipped by those who want to be spiritually advanced. One who intends to advance in spiritual life may visit all these places and perform ritualistic ceremonies to get results 1,000 times better than the results of the same activities performed in any other place. O King of the Earth. It has been decided by
Okay.
X. Yeah,
Maybe we could stop here. Yeah. So the
yes,
remaining
Prabhu.
part we may cover next week. Okay. Yeah. Hemagori Madi, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed reading.
Yes, Prabhuji. Once again, remembering the family duties not to be bounded into
Yeah.
this and should be detached. And I
Mm-hmm.
will like to listen more from you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Mm-hmm. Okay. होमज्ञानतिम्रन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकथामहिं ददति स्वपदान्तिकं नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामे नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So, yeah, this is a very important chapter, especially I think it's also interesting for one who is here. Why? Because this is going to speak about the ideal family life. Sometimes, yesterday, I sent out a small snippet to Kushbu Mataji about how to take care of guests, yeah, when guests visit. And then she immediately asked, "Can you please share the whole information?" And I think we are all eager to know how to be a good devotee, and that too, we would like to understand, is it really possible, and if possible, how to practice Krishna consciousness in a household life. And not only we have this question, Yudhishthir Maharaj has the same question and is asking to Narada Muni. Interestingly, Narada Muni was not a grihastha, but one who has transcended the three modes of nature can help anyone and everyone. This reminds me that um, we may know there are so many Maharajas in our movement. Some have not entered Grihastha life, but rather straight away uh, accepted uh, sannyas order. And but they are asked by all his disciples how to lead a good life, or they go to Maharajas saying, "I have this problem, I have that problem in my family life, can you please solve?" So, and one shouldn't think that, oh, they are not married, so they don't know what is. Uh, they may not know the intensity of our problems because they have not gone through such a circumstances. Now here we can see Maharaj Yudhishthir is inquiring from Narada Muni. Why not? Otherwise, why he would have approached someone else, right? So here it says, uh, um, just me look at this. श्रीयुधिष्ठिरोवाच गृहस्थ एतां पदवीं विधिना येन च अञ्जसा यायाद् देवर्षे ब्रूहि मादृशो गृह मूढ़ दीहि. So here, especially Yudhishthir is asking, Griha Mudha Dihi, completely ignorant of goal of life. Mudha means Griha Mudha, one who is a householder, and he is not uh, mm, aware, completely ignorant of goal of life. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking, kindly explain how we who are staying at home without the knowledge of goal of life may also easily attain liberation according to the instructions of Vedas. This is very important. We don't, I think most of our, there is this word, Padavim, position of liberation within, according to the instruction of Vedic scriptures. So, what is that Vidhi? What is that process through which we can get liberated from the cycle of birth and death, even though we are in a household life? In the purport, Prabhupada mentions in the previous chapter, Narad Muni has explained how a brahmachari, how a vanaprastha, how a sannyasa should act. He first explained the dealings of brahmachari, vanaprastha, and sannyas because these three ashramas or statuses of life are extremely important for fulfillment of goal of life. One should note that in the brahmacharya ashram, vanaprastha ashram, and sannyas ashram, there is no scope for sex life, whereas sex is allowed in grihastha life under regulations. This goes further in the purport. I'm moving to there. Therefore, as a grihastha, he presented himself as Gruhamudha Dihi, one who is completely ignorant of goal of life. Of course, we should know that Yudhishthir Maharaj could understand all this, uh, what is the situation in household life, and as soon as possible one should give up his so-called comfortable home life at home and prepare to undergo austerity or tapasya. Tapo divyam putraka, according to instruction given by Rishabhadev to his sons, we should not create a so-called comfortable situation but must prepare to undergo austerity. This is how a human being should actually live to fulfill life's ultimate goal. I think we usually tend to do the other way. We are thinking we are struggling too hard. Come on, get up in the morning, do school runs here and there, and then after that, run for job, get some money, spend it, and I think it's so busy life. And obviously, when it is so busy life, our thought goes how to relax, how to become more um, comfortable. At least as soon as when we get a break from this all hectic life. So ideally, we may think, okay, let me arrange something so that I can have a very comfortable life. No, the very principle here is there will never be a comfortable life. Some of you can already realize that, isn't it? When we see our parents, we know how it is. As one gets older, the needs for the body maintenance increases. Hmm. And though the desires may be there, one want to enjoy that, one want to enjoy this life, that life. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy. Even all the facilities what one may have. Yeah, I think there is this uh, analogy, right? Or some say, yeah, in for youth there is a lot of time but no money, and for grihasthas there is no time, then there is, yeah, okay, no money, both, yeah, because they are trying to make money and they don't have time. And yeah, maybe we could say a retired life could be, hey, there is a lot of money, but no energy. They have time, they have money, but nothing can bring them. Um, and here, that's why in the purport, Prabhupada mentions is very important. We should make our mindset proper. We should correct our thought process. Our thought process should be that to maintain austerity even in the very moment. We don't have to wait until then. Okay, now anyway we are going through austerious life. We have to maintain this life and follow four regulative principles. Chanting is already austerious. Yeah, gradually we should improve the quality of this austerity. It is not unwillingly to follow the austerity, but to embrace this austerity. Yes, I am committed. Huh? Yesterday in the Nectar of Instruction, we were discussing a very important shloka. What is that? Um, Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya Tatat Karma Pravartanat. Um, what is that? Tatat Karma Pravartanat. Sangat Yaga Shata Vrito Shabdir Bhaktir Prasidyati. Um, to attain bhakti, we should have these qualities. Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. These are these when we are following, when we are performing devotional activities, we should have utsaha. And also is also called ullasa. Ullasa means with joy. So sukham kartum abhyayam, devotional life should be performed with joy, not with, like a burden. Oh, Krishna has pushed us here. I'm suffering. That's why I have to do this. No. So Um, as Rishabhadev is telling, even before he left and became Avadhuta, yeah, Maharaj Rishabhadev, he said this very important. One should not create a so-called comfortable situation, but must prepare to undergo austerity. We don't want to invite austerity, maybe at this stage, but we shouldn't also run behind arranging comforts. I want that, I want this. Let it be whatever Krishna wants. Let that be. Let's try our best to meet what plans Krishna has. Let our plans meet what Krishna's plans are so that we attain. That's why Prabhupada, this is how a human being should actually live to fulfill life's ultimate goal. श्री नारद उवाच गृहेष्वा अवस्थितो राजन् क्रिया कुर्वन् यथोचिताः वासुदेवार्पणं साक्षात् upasita mahamunin. Narad Muni, he said, my dear king, those who stay at home as householders must act to earn their livelihood. And instead of trying to enjoy the results of their work themselves, they should offer these results to whom? Krishna. Krishna Arpanam. Arpanam means to offer, to whom? Krishna Arpanam. So that's why whenever something comes to us, let's develop this habit of always remembering this is not for me, this is for Krishna. Krishna Arpanamastu, Krishna Arpanamastu. Of course, in some movies or in some mind, what do you call, in a colloquial language, when someone says Krishna Arpanamastu means it's a loss. Someone says, "Oh, you lost this? Oh, Krishna Arpanamastu." It is so casually misinterpreted, but Krishna Arpanamastu has a high meaning that whatever we have earned, maybe offer everything to Krishna. Huh? How to satisfy Vasudeva in this life can be perfectly understood through the association of great devotees of the Lord. This Arpanam, yeah, I saw one-to-one translation. Arpana means dedicating. Upasita. Upasita means upasana, to worship. Upasita should worship Mahamunin, great devotees. So, the purport Prabhupada says the format for Grihastha life should be dedication to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever we are doing, how we can dedicate our earnings, our efforts, everything, whether we are thinking, let that be for how to please the spiritual master, how to please the Lord, uh, how to engage ourselves with devotees, how to groom such devotee association. Uh, in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita 6.1, it is said, Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti ya sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na chakriyah. One who is unattached. Anashrita. Ashrita means to take shelter. Anashrita. Anashrita karma phalam. Karma phalam. One who is not attached, unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obliged. Karyam. He is doing karyam karma karoti. He is doing karoti. He is doing the work. Sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. Hmm? Uh, he is obliged, is in the renounced order of life. Even if he is a grihastha, he is in renounced order of life because all the time he is thinking only and engaging always for serving the Lord. Na niragnir na chakriya. He is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no work. Sannyasis are a true sannyasi is one who is dedicating his life for Krishna. It doesn't matter in which way. Rather, sometimes sannyasis, if they may think, oh, let's not uh, cook, let's not do anything, let's do no work. No, that is not appreciated. So those are not sannyasis. Hmm. Whether one acts as a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, or sannyas, he must act only for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva, Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. This should be the principle for everyone's life. Narad Muni has already described the principles of life for a brahmachari, vanaprastha, and sannyas, and now he is describing how a grihastha should live. It goes further. The science of satisfying the Supreme Lord can be learned as described here. Sakshad upasita mahamunin. Sakshad, yeah. Mahamunin refers to great saintly persons or devotees. Saintly persons are generally known as munis or thoughtful philosophers concerned with transcendental subject matters, and Mahamunin refers to those who have not only thoroughly studied the goal of life but who are actually engaged in satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva. These persons are known as devotees. Not just Munis, Mahamunis. Mahamunis is none other than devotees because they understood what to be done, they are also doing it. Uh, Vasudevarpana. Unless one associates with devotee, one cannot learn the science of Vasudevarpana because they don't know how to engage every bit of one's earning in the service of Krishna. The purport goes further. In India, the principles of this science were followed strictly. Even 50 years ago, I saw that in the villages of Bengal and the suburbs of Calcutta, people engaged in hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam daily when all their activities ended, or at least in the evening before going to bed. Everyone would hear the Bhagavatam. Bhagavata classes were held in every village, and thus people have the advantage of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, which describes everything about the aim of life, liberation, or salvation. This will be clearly explained in the next verses. So, we are living not in such Indian villages, not even in such towns, not even in India where there are big, big spiritual centers. We are not even living in temples. We are not like temple devotees, but we can see here how important it is for a grihasthas to hear Bhagavatam every day. I don't know. I think most of you are joining, if I'm not wrong. I see most of you are anyway joining our Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya every day in the evening. But this is also a practice. In fact, when Srila Prabhupada times, all the devotees, yeah, his disciples, they used to read Krishna book in the evening, drink hot milk, and go to sleep. Yeah, I mean that would be the last activity they would do. And I have seen when I visited villages during my childhood. I used to see there used to be temples in the evening where the temples, Harikatha was more prominent. I don't know, anyone had such atmosphere, environment they lived or seen?
Correct.
Yes, Prabhuji.
In Tirumala, I've seen probably Tirupati sometimes in the villages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. Navina
In our
Mata.
village, there will be one Ramalayam Prabhu. In that, the old people used to sit together in the evenings and they should do some Rama Bhajan and there should be the reading session and about
Mm-hmm.
Rama Kada and bhajans.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyone else?
In my mother's native, also it was practiced in the evenings, some reading or singing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I think you may already know I keep giving this nice example. when I was doing my engineering next to my what do you call this? Yeah, flat. Yeah, where we were renting. Just next to the lane is Sri Varadaraja Swami's temple, and there used to be harikathas now and then. And yeah, it was quite nice, joyful. Listening to harikatha gives so much. It's just like now we may have, what is it called? Um, Web series, or in the past there used to be some TV serials or episodes, and or they were movies. But harikatha is at a different level. It's not like take one, take two, people record until one get perfection. No, the one who used to give harikathas were experts. Yeah, I mean, I have in from my mother's I mean, family side, there are harikatha. I don't know what do we call it. Uh, One who gives harikathas. Yeah, they were, and yeah, it's totally a different. They know how to. I mean, there are these three who play the instruments, but then there is the speaker with his uh, intensity. He brings a lot of action. Just imagine one man who is going to do harikatha for 1.5 hour. How much focused he does, and then of course, then there is other drama troops that came, which are like Shurabi dramas, and which started making more better visual effect of what the Harikathas were like. All these things are towards tuning ourselves to appreciate the Puranas. Hmm. Rukmini Parinayam, Rukmini Kalyanam, yeah. Then Kumara Sambhava. There are so many nice, and then they perform. Um, Then, yes, last year I was in India, in my home, so to say, colony. We can't call anymore these as towns or villages or cities. Within this metropolitan, cosmopolitan cities, there are so many temples. And the temples, sometimes they come up, yeah, because some people, they are retired and they think, okay, let's do something. And okay, then they open up a temple, and then you know what? I think who said Navina Mataji, as you said. Then what do they do is they will start saying, okay, let's all come together and do every day bhajan. Yes, all fine. And that is more about self-motivating ourselves. Oh, by uh, instead of doing something nonsense at home, let's do bhajan. But the impart of bhajans may not go so deep unless one has devotion. And actually, that's why it's very important that any center, spiritual center, should have katha every day. But I mean, when I was there, I was talking to, I mean, I know him when I was a child, and he likes me a lot, and he knows that I am into this line of Krishna consciousness. And when I met him in the temple, then he said, it is so pity that so many people don't come to the temple. And I said, why don't you do Harikathas? When you do Harikathas, there will be so many who will be interested, and then they will be more attracted. Um, and in fact, my father's colleague who retired, he's an amazing um, uh, reciter of Sundarakanda. He has a lot. I mean, I am a part of his. I don't know what is it. There's a WhatsApp group where they share about the whole Ramayana. And of course, he had cancer last year before he passed away, uh, last before year. But yeah, the temple management is ready to get such great speakers, reciters who can impart that spiritual potent from the scriptures, from the kathas. But he was saying the pity is not even handful come to sit. Yes, and yeah, in spite of people coming from very far, yeah, we are ready to send out a car to get them, and even ready to pay something. All these things we are trying, we want to do it, but the pity thing is no one is interested in hearing katha. Yeah, and of course, I mean, I saw myself. I saw that people are interested to read together, come together, Lalita Sahasranama, Vishnu Sahasranama, Sundar, reading together. They are fine, but not hearing from a person in their busy life. They want that this they don't take extra time, or they don't set a time according to what program is happening in the temple to hear. So then how can one follow this Mahamunin? Hmm? Um, hmm? What is that? Upasita Mahamunin. To follow them, one has to see, yeah, it's not just in the books. If one you just, okay, by reading Lalita, by reading Vishnu, by reading all other scriptures, yeah, you are working out your way, showing that you want to become a devotee. But when the Lord is sending a spiritual master in one's life, or inspiration from whom or seniors are coming, but if one doesn't take up that benefit, what is the value? Hmm? No, no, no. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, all these things are happening. Huh? What is the role of a guru, or what is the role of hearing to worshipping such Mahamunis or worshipping devotees is not happening. Uh, Grahasthas who are having dravya, material, uh, material things. I mean, what do you call this? Wealth or whatsoever, all the facilities that he has should be engaged in the service of the Lord. How is it possible? Is by approaching an expert who can teach us how to do it, because he has been doing in his life, and he can tell how he got closer, how he got that opportunity to sing the glories of the Lord, and by doing that, one is blessed. Hmm. Isn't it? Doesn't it make sense? Navina Madai.
Yes.
How much katha happens, that can tell how flourishing is the temple, and not just temple community. Hmm. It's a pity. I mean, sometimes I was in Tirumala, Tirupati, and Tirupati Devasthanam. They have conducted an amazing katha. Usually, I mean, evenings they usually have. Sometimes I even think, is it a recorded tape? No, there are vaktas who can recite. They conduct amazing, very few. They are more interested to have darshan of the Lord. How many want to hear the katha? Sometimes, I mean, Rupa, which, I mean, 1 year I was like 11 times. Huh? How many times? I don't remember. I was in Tirumala almost. And every month, I mean, I used to just, and the katha keeps going as if like sometimes they play either the recorded one, or there are already some in the one place there is someone who's speaking. And these are amazing harikathas that happen. Huh? We can just forget our life troubles, problems, hassles and battles. Oh, I have to study, I have to become. All these things can anyway happen if we become perfect with our Krishna consciousness. So, and then, yes, then we go further. Yeah, by the purport. This will be clearly explained in the next verses. शृण्वन् भगवतोऽभीक्षणम् अवताराकथामृतम् श्रद्ददाना यथा कालम् उपशान्तजनावृतः सत्सङ्ग चनकैः सङ्गम् आत्मजायात्मजादिषु विमुच्येन् मुच्यमानेषु स्वयं स्वप्नवद् उत्थितः. A grahastha must associate again and again. Where is that word coming? Again and again. Bhagavat Avatara Kathamritam Shraddha Dana Yatha Kalam Upashanta Jana Vrataha. Hearing again, again. Usually that comes in the end. So a grihastha must associate again and again with saintly persons, and with great respect he must hear the nectar of activities of the Supreme Lord and his incarnations as their activities are described in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and other Puranas. Thus one should gradually become detached from affection for his wife and children, exactly like a man awakening from a dream. That is so nice. It's so nice that when one hears Bhagavatam, obviously the interest of a person is to become liberated. Not liberated means we are talking, okay, to merge in the Lord and that's it. No, liberation means to disconnect with the material things and to reconnect with the Lord Krishna. In the purport, Prabhupada says the Krishna consciousness movement has been established to give grihasthas all over the world an opportunity to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita specifically. The process, as described in many ways, is one of hearing and chanting Shrivatam Swagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Everyone, especially the grihasthas who are mudadi, dhi means experts, mudha means ignorant about the goal of life, should be given opportunities to hear about Krishna simply by hearing, by attending lectures in different centers of the Krishna consciousness movement, where topics of Krishna from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam are discussed. They will be purified of their sinful inclination for constant indulgence in illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, which have all become prominent in modern days. Thus, they can be raised to the status of life, Punya Shravana Kirtana, simply by joining the Kirtana, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And by hearing about Krishna from Bhagavad Gita, one must be purified, especially if he also takes prasadam. This is all going on in the Krishna consciousness movement. So another specific description here is Shravanam Bhagavato Abhikshanam Avatara Kathamritam. It is not that because one has once finished Bhagavad Gita, he should not hear it again. The word Abhikshanam is very important. We should hear again and again. Abhikshanam. That is important. There is no question of stopping. Even if one has read these topics many times, he should go on reading again and again, because Bhagavad Katha, the words spoken by Krishna and spoken by Krishna's devotees about Krishna, are Amrit nectar. The more one drinks this Amritam, the more he advances in his eternal life. Prabhupada's purport goes further. I mean, he explains, he himself said, I have seen, Prabhupada writes, early in the morning, they rise and travel even 100 miles away to earn bread. Especially in the Western countries, I have seen the people awake at 5 o'clock to go to offices and factories to earn their livelihood. People in Calcutta and Bombay also do this every day. They work very hard in the office or factory, and again they spend 3 or 4 hours in transportation returning home. Then they retire at 10 o'clock and again rise in the morning to go to their offices and factories. This kind of hard labor is described in Shastras as the life of pigs and stool eaters. Nayam deho deha bhajam loke kashtam kaman arhate vid bhujam ye. Of all living entities who have accepted material body in this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stool. One must one must find some time for hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and Bhagavad Gita. This is Vedic culture. One should work 8 hours at the most to earn his livelihood, and either in the afternoon or in the evening, a householder should associate with devotees to hear about the incarnations of Krishna and his activities, and thus be gradually liberated from the clutches of Maya. However, instead of finding time to hear about Krishna, the householders, after working hard in offices and factories, find time to go to a restaurant or a club where instead of hearing about Krishna and his activities, they are very much pleased to hear about political activities of demons and non-devotees, and to enjoy sex, wine, women, and meat, and in this way waste their time. This is not grihastha life, but demonic life. Huh? In a dream, we form a society of friendship and love. And when we awaken, we see that it has ceased to exist. Similarly, one's gross society, family, and love are also a dream. And this dream will be over as soon as one dies. Therefore, whether one is dreaming in a subtle way or a gross way, these dreams are all false and temporary. One's real business is to understand that one is soul, Aham Brahmasmi, and that his activities should therefore be different. Then one can be happy. Um, and to attain Brahma Bhuta stage, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nasochati Rakangshati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. Uh, So, one who is engaged in devotional service can very easily be liberated from the dream of materialistic life. Then the next verse. Yavadartam upasino dehe gehe cha panditah vikarto raktatva tatra niloke naratam naset. While working to earn his livelihood as much as necessary to maintain his body and soul together, one who is actually learned should live in human society unattached to family affairs, although externally appearing very much attached. This is the secret. This is the secret even in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told to Ramananda Rai. Purport is very important. In the purport, it says, this is the picture of ideal family life. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Rai about the goal of life, Ramananda Rai described it different ways according to recommendation of revealed scriptures. And finally, Sri Ramananda Rai explained that one may stay in his own position, whether as a Brahmana, Shudra, uh, Brahmana, Shudra, a sannyasi, or whatever, but one must try to inquire about life's goal, Athat Brahma Jigyasa. This is the proper utilization of human form of life. When one misuses the gift of human form by unnecessarily indulging in the animal propensities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, and does not try to get out of the clutches of Maya, which subjects one to birth and death, repeated birth, death, old age, and disease, one is again punished by being forced to descend to lower species and undergo evolution according to laws. So, a wise man, however, learns from the Shastras and Gurus that we living entities are all eternal but are put into troublesome condition because of associating with different modes under the laws of material nature. The modern materialistic civilization is just the opposite of ideal civilization. Every day, the so-called leaders of modern society invent something, contributing to a cumbersome way of life that implicates people more and more in the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. Yeah, we can see there are so many products that are coming up. There are so many advertisements, and the more you see, the more you get bewildered. Of course, a devotee is bewildered, whereas non-devotee is overwhelmed. Wow, yes, I didn't think this can. Someone discovered something through which I can enjoy inventions all over. Okay, we go further. Jnataya pitaro putra bhratara suhrido apare yad vadanti yad icchanti chanumodeta nirmamaha. He's saying, he's saying very smart. Sometimes I don't know. I always remember our uh, Sesh Sai Prabhu, what he might be thinking when we were preaching that Prabhu, devotional life is like this, devotional life is like that. Oh, he says, why are you, why, one may think, why is a devotee telling how to be smart? Here it says, yeah, the shloka, an intelligent man in human society should make his own program of activities very simple. If there are suggestions from his friends, children, parents, brothers, or anyone else, he should externally agree, saying, yes, that is all right. but internally he should be determined not to create a cumbersome life in which the purpose of life will not be fulfilled. It is not fault of those well-wishers. We have so many well-wishers, sometimes really wishing our well-being. Sometimes they want, oh, okay, they're envious, they're, sometimes they are jealous or whatsoever, or they're sometimes possessive, sometimes they are selfish. We don't know with what interest one may is coming and suggesting do this, do that, but we should be smart enough to understand this is doesn't go with bhakti. Just imagine if someone is boiling milk and then there is someone, hey, to enhance the taste of the milk, let's add some salt. What will happen when someone puts salt? Huh? It simply breaks and fit for nothing. Of course, one may think, oh, let's make some malai or whatsoever. If someone, no, you want to have milk, but then there are so many suggestions coming around. And at the same time, these are not ordinary people, third party, where you can say, okay, accept or not is your choice. No, here it says if there are suggestions from friends, children, parents, brothers, or anyone else, he should externally agree. Externally agree means, yeah, I will see. And he say, yes, that's all right. Uh, but internally, he should be determined not to create a cumbersome life. He should check whether these things can help his own devotional life. How can he do that? If he doesn't have intelligence, he has to discuss with his seniors uh, and leaders uh, to whom he can take advice from. Divyam Bhaumam Chantariksham दिव्यं भौमं च अंतरिक्षं वित्तम अच्युत निर्मितं तत्सर्वम् उपयुञ्जन उञ्जान एतत् कुर्यात् स्वतो बुधः. The natural products created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be utilized to maintain the body and souls of all living entities. The necessities of life are three types: those produced from the sky, from rainfall, from the earth, from the mines, seas, and fields, and from the atmosphere, that which is obtained suddenly and unexpectedly. So, the purport Prabhupada brings this shloka: Sarva yonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavanti ya tasam brahma mahad yonir aham bija prada pita. So, I am the seed giving father. It should be understood that all species of life are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed giving father. The Supreme Lord Krishna is the father of all living entities in different species and forms. One who is intelligent can see that all living entities uh, in the 8.4 million, bodily forms are part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and are his sons. Everything within the material and spiritual worlds is the property of the Supreme Lord. Ishavashamidam Sarvam. Therefore, everything has a relationship with him. In fact, Srila Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he says, Prapanchikataya buddhya hari sambandhi vastunaha mumukshubhi prati parityago vairagyam falgu katyate. Falgu vairagya means fake vairagya is one who rejects anything without knowledge of its relationship with Krishna. He is incomplete in his renunciation. So this shloka goes further. It emphasizes very important. If people throughout the world take to Krishna consciousness movement and chant the easy sound vibration of the transcendental name and fame of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there will be no scarcity of rainfall. Consequently, food, grains, fruits, and flowers will be properly produced, and all the necessities of life will be easily obtained. Grihasthas or householders should take the responsibility for organizing such natural production. It is therefore said, Tasyeva heto prayateta kovida. An intelligent person should try to spread Krishna consciousness through the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, and all the necessities of life will automatically follow. I'll stop after this last verse. Yavad, or I think after, let's. Yavad briyeta jataram tavat swatvam hi dehinam adhikam yo abhimanyeta sa steno dandam arhati. One may claim proprietorship to as much wealth as required to maintain body and soul together. But one who desires proprietorship over more than much must be considered a thief, and he deserves to be punished by the laws of karma. Hmm. In the Bhagavad Gita 16th chapter, idam adhya maya labdham imam prapshe manoratham idam astidam api me bhavishyati punardhanam. The demonic persons think, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more again to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. The Asura is considered with how much wealth he has in the bank today and how it will increase tomorrow. But unrestricted accumulation of wealth is not permitted either by the Shastras or in the modern age by the government. Actually, if one has more than one requires for his necessities, the extra money should be spent for Krishna. In fact, Krishna is saying, this is the top yoga. In the 9th chapter, 27th verse. Yat karosi, yat ashnasi, yat juhosi, dadasi, yat tapasyasi, kaunteya, tat kurvasva, mad arpanam. Mad arpanam is to dedicate to me, to give to me. Grihastha should spend extra money only for Krishna consciousness movement. The Grihasthas should give contributions for constructing temples of the Supreme Lord and for preaching Śrīmad-Bhāgavad Gita or Krishna consciousness all over the world. Shranvan Bhagavato Abhikshnam Avatara Kathamritam. In the Shastras, the Puranas, and other Vedic literatures, there are so many narrations describing the transcendental activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and everyone should hear them again and again. It goes further. In India, especially, we see hundreds and thousands of temples that were constructed by wealthy men of the society who did not want to be called thieves and to be punished. The Krishna consciousness movement therefore affords one an opportunity to spend his extra earnings for the benefit of all human society by expanding Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada writes, this verse is very important. As stated here, one who accumulates more money than needed is a thief, and by the laws of nature he will be punished. One who acquires more money than necessary becomes desirous of enjoying material comforts more and more. Materialists are inventing so many artificial necessities, and those who have money, being allured by such artificial necessities, try to accumulate money to possess more and more. This is the idea of modern economic development. Everyone is engaged in earning money, and the money is kept in bank, which then offers money to the public. In this cycle of activities, everyone is engaged in getting more and more money, and therefore the ideal goal of human life is being lost. Okay, I'll stop here, and then we will continue from verse 9 to 33. I hope we do that in one go. Hemagori Mataji, all happy?
Yes, Prabhuji. Definitely, it's an important session for all Grihasthas, how we can lead the life.
Yeah, for all of us, for Grihasthas. See, there's a dedicated chapter. No? If you want to be proud of, if you want to take shelter of, then this is the chapter. Okay, any questions or thoughts from anyone?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. In one verse, Prabhuji, there was this externally one should be attached. It should be shown. Is it like the dual personality or that I?
It means it's not dual personality. It is only one personality. As part of that, this is also one trait, one quality of a devotee. It is not that for a while you become it's not like to be like untruthful. Yeah, here you have to be smart. Yeah, rather saying yes, I will do it. Yeah, you say yes, all right. You're not saying I'll do it, I'm committing. Yeah. So it's an some one may call it a kind of a diplomacy. Diplomacy can also sound something negative. Um, it means to be sensible. I usually give this example of I don't know. There was this ad made by Rahul Dravid, cricket player. It was, I think, about some insurance company where everyone comes to give some advices. Then he says, "No, we can't hear to all opinions. Yeah, all these. Uh, Rather, we should hear to an expert." Yeah. At the same time, we don't want to make enemies with everyone. Yeah, by disobeying. Yeah, we don't also have to obey them because we know that in which position they are, from what level they are saying, might appear to be genuine for them. Yeah, maybe out of concern, they may give a suggestion. As I said, they may give about out of concern or out of selfishness, out of ego, if, out of jealous. We don't know. Irrespective of whatever they give, we know we have not accepted them as our guru. Yeah. So if at all we want to follow, whom do we want to follow? Can we follow 100 paths?
No, Prabhuji.
We follow only one path. And that path should be, yeah, we should be assured, right? This path takes, yeah, we should have nishchaya. Utsaha, nishchaya, dhairyat. Nishchaya means we should be confident that this takes me to Krishna. Yeah. At the same time, because we are in a system, in a setup, that's why we don't want to make enemies. We don't want to increase the envy of a person. Uh, so that's why we are just saying, okay, all right. They may understand mm, uh, in a big picture, yeah, what we are doing might be right. Or when they get, they see how we are progressing, they may change. So we don't want to create enmities or we don't want to create barriers. Rather, we don't want to create barriers. So a devotee is always eager to serve, to help out people who are especially struggling. So we need to keep the bridges intact. We don't want to break it.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not split personality. It's not like a cheater, like he's doing something, acting something. Yeah, if one is of that level, they can do it. Yeah, why not? They can be simple. They just are simple, simplicity without duplicity. And you're asking about the split personality. Is it duplicity? No, devotee is still simple, but his way of how he handles is a situation is this way.
So, Prabhuji, it is like one may not promise that, but one can just say, yes, you are right, and but one may
Yeah,
not promise that, yes, I will do. Or
we just hear to them. Yeah, if they're asking something, we may say, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah." There is nothing concretely. You are closing the conversation. You're not. Yeah, you're not saying. Yeah, if first of all, no one asks a devotee opinion. They want to tell their opinions. We just hear, and if they ask us to do, then we will see. We will try. We will see what we can. There is always way how to handle it in a way, right? It's even they don't follow everything what you tell, right?
yes,
Yeah. So there is always give and take, which means when they don't follow, they expect us that we also don't follow everything.
yes, Prabhuji. So every soul has the right to do the best for the soul.
Yes, should not even right. He has to.
Hmm.
It's not a choice.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
A devotee should become more matured to handle the situations such a way that he can uh, follow the right path.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
there are ways, and for that we don't have to become a non-devotee like other people. Okay, good. Then thank you very much. Someone, if possible, make a note. I think we need to cover from verse number 9 or 10. Next week, we will do that. Then Vanchakalpatarabhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Grandharaj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hare Krishna.